Yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. I've been taking some more weight off, just evenly teasing it all down. But as I was taking off a little bit of width on this sort of grey area where I pointed out before there's a little black mark, well, as I took some off it became obvious it was a great big, you know, black manky loose strip, if you like. Hard to describe it, but I cleaned it out with one of my little broken needle files, and it doesn't go very deep. But the question is, do I just fill it with epoxy and sawdust, or do I chisel it out a bit more and lay in a strip of nicer wood? Because you can see it's not, well, the wood feels alright, it's just a bit of an ugly colour. So I'm not fully decided. But you can see where I was rasping at it, I've gone down slightly, so it's looking a bit narrow there, and we've got the knot this side. I think it may be an idea, chisel it out and just let in a sliver of decent clean wood, just to be on the safe side. But same as, you know, this line here, you think, well, is that going to open up? But that feels sound. I can't get my nail into it at all. Tricky one. I mean, like I said before, problems on the defects on the side aren't that critical, but I wouldn't want it to become the start of a split and to sort of bulge out the belly, you know, for the belly to lift there. But there again, digging out more, you can end up weakening it more. So yeah, I'll perhaps have a nice cup of tea and think about that. Cleaned out that sort of manky bit with a little chisel I ground up, and I've made a little piece to go in there. The thick end there is just to act as a handle so I can manipulate it, but I'll put that in there and then clamp it up in the vise. I just used an old warding file I just ground into a chisel point to clean it all out. I mean, it's only about the size of a matchstick, so possibly not worth doing, but until you dig it out you're not sure how deep these features go. Anyhow, I'll get that glued up. There, I've glued it in and just squeezed it up in the vise, so that should be gripped in really nice and tight. And that glue will have gone off in about 2 or 3 hours. That's it with the little sliver of wood glued in. I'll just rasp that off and you can see it. Now that's a quick rasp and a stroke with a scraper. Smooth enough. Not a thing of great beauty, but is what it is. At least I know it's a bit more secure than that black patch that we didn't know how far it went in. Yeah, I've been working it down some more. I've done that little, filled that mucky bit I just showed you. The weight's still relatively high. I've decided what I'm aiming for. I'm going to go for 40 at 27. I don't want to pull it to 28 if it's for a young lad. I'll never pull it that far because it's a bit of a rough stave. So I've decided that's the target. I'll try and pull it without getting my body in the way of the camera this time, which involves sitting down on the floor, which is hard work these days. I've done a bit where I'd worked on the right limb, the left was looking stiff, so I've eased that off. I think the tiller's looking nice now. Still left's a whisker stiff, but that's what you'd normally do. There's a good 40, I think that's sort of 21. Well, I did the arithmetic and that works out to be about 50 at 27 inches, which is, you know, ridiculous. So I've got a lot of weight to come off still. And I'll try and take it off evenly and I'll reduce the sapwood more. But of course where you've got knots and bulges, you've got to be careful because the heartwood bulges up, you know, with the knot or with the sapwood. So it's a matter of sort of teasing it down, trying to keep the heart sap proportions reasonable. it's like here, but I've got a lot of sapwood, but if I take it down, there's a big knot coming out the top here, and I don't want to cut through into heartwood. There the sapwood looks thin, but it's thick on the other side, so it's just a matter of teasing it down. But £10 is still quite a lot to get off it. Do I get the tips coming round more? It's just a matter of keep teasing it down. One of my favourite turns of phrase is successive approximation. You know, we'll gradually get the whole thing down, approximating to the final bow. But obviously, at a lower draw weight, it should be more flexible and more supple. So, if I hear any frightening cracks and pops, I'll ignore them. That'll do for now.